Foodie TV. We are back. I know it's been a minute since we have sat down with somebody fine, creative in Atlanta. So I got my girl, Hungry Homegirl.
Hey y'all.
Okay, so she has one of the biggest content pages in Atlanta, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself because you may do just much more than what we actually see.
Okay. Look, I'm like, I'm shy, so I'm gonna start off a little simple, a little slow. But my name is Taylor, and I am the creator of Hungry Homegirl, which is a food and lifestyle branding page. I am on Instagram and TikTok. I started off on Instagram, and I basically just highlight food businesses around the city, inside the perimeter, and outside. Let me make sure to say that because people get confused, but I highlight food businesses inside and outside the city. Also, events, things to do, experiences, hotels, all of that. So make sure y'all follow me. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, I feel like I feel like since COVID, right?
Hmm.
I feel like Atlanta did a complete. I don't want to say a complete wipeout, but there's so many places that like were here and then they're gone, and then there's so many just new things to do, new restaurants, a lot of black-owned businesses, a lot of just creative businesses in general, and I feel like you really capitalize on these experiences because the thing I feel like the cool thing now is to like vlog where you eating, where you going, what you doing, things like that. But you did it. You were one of the first that I've seen do it, and you did it in a way that is very well branded and unique. So, how did you? What just made you say, okay, I just want to create a content page?
Okay. Well, I'll start off by saying thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I started in 2017, I would say. And I was at a corporate job. And of course, I had my regular Instagram page, which is Simply Taylor, where I just posted selfies of me. But on my story, I would highlight places that I'm going, places that I'm like different restaurants, the food that I'm eating, kind of like what I'm doing. But I would just highlight it on my story. And so one day, I asked my coworker, sorry, I'm sucking on the Tic Tac. Hopefully, can't
You
get that.
could.
But one day, I told my coworker, I was like, okay, I want to start some sort of page because people on my stories will always ask me, where are you? Where's this? How did you find out about this? Blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to start a page where I did that. So I think I followed like two other pages and they were Caucasian women. Um,
mm.
so I started off, I remember asking one of my coworkers, I was like, how is the name Hungry Homegirl? Like I was thinking about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how is Hungry Homegirl? And she was like, that's a little corny. And I was like, perfect. So fast forward, I started that page literally that same exact day. And Hungry Homegirl was my bread and butter. Like I was like, I'm gonna eat, live, sleep, all of this. Hungry Homegirl. I followed like two other. It was literally no foodies in Atlanta. It was only two other big pages, and I remember reaching out to them. They were very like standoffish, rude. I see them today. Hey y'all. But
Hey, hi haters. No, just saying.
no, I remember them, but I just started because I was bored, really. So it started as a hobby, and then I kind of stopped doing it for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I lost passion with like working my 9 to 5. I would get bored again, so I started it back up, and then I just kept it going. Like it's always just been like a hobby for me, and especially because I've always been creative, and I've never really had a 9 to 5 where I was able to be creative. I always had like those structured, boring 9 to 5. So my page allowed me to keep up with social media and be able to like share and show some more personality than I would at work. So yeah.
Okay. And I remember like seeing your post early on. It would be like pictures, a lot of pictures, like foodgasm pictures. And then
Mhm.
it kind of went to like video. Now it's a whole thing. You be with your friends. And it's like,
Mhm.
I even like how you go on your page and you got not only the name of the restaurants, but it's like the city. Then you have the different lists and stuff. So how did it grow from or in your mind, how did you grow it from just doing the photos to now branching out to different forms of content?
Well, one thing about Taylor, aka Hungry Homegirl, is I've always been creative and I've
Period.
always taught myself everything. So one thing that I learned is you have to evolve with technology, with this generation, digital media.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm self-taught with everything, I learned that okay, reels, videos were starting to pick up. So eventually like I started to become some sort of videographer. Like I've always had an eye for content, whether that's pictures or video. So it was very easy for me to make that shift. Um So I just evolve like what people want to see. And it's even better because I can show my personality. Like with just pictures, you can't really show much of yourself. You know,
Right.
Instagram has always been kind of superficial, but nowadays with videos, you're able to talk, dance, laugh, and show a little bit of yourself, and people relate more to content like that. So just
Mhm.
evolve.
And then, like, what did you have like a moment or like a particular post where you was like, okay, it's viral. Wow, like I really have a brand that has a presence in Atlanta or digitally.
I don't think to be honest, like before the pandemic even started, I went viral on TikTok. And
Mm,
TikTok wasn't even a thing
right,
for our generation or older. It was mainly for the teeny boppers, the
right.
kids,
Because TikTok didn't become popular amongst everybody until COVID
until
happened.
COVID. But I went viral on TikTok literally like in 2019, so before the pandemic, and it was a video of like me morphing into Michelle Obama, and then everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, you look just like her," blah blah blah. But it went viral. It
You
almost
do
got a
play
million
back.
views. So that was one of my first viral posts before anything. Like, of course, I had the food page, I had everything else, but that's where I learned about TikTok. Like, I
Hmm.
just posted on there just to do something, and then it went crazy, and I grew a following from a post that had nothing to do with food.
Mm.
But after that, that was my first viral post. Um, to answer your question, but on Instagram and TikTok, as a food blogger, I don't think I really had like a viral post that made me say, "Wow, like this is crazy." You know, people are following. I'm very hard on myself, so
I
I
would say
kind
you
of
are very hard on yourself.
yeah, I know I'm very hard on myself, so I don't think I see what other people see. So I feel like I haven't had that moment yet, but I probably have, but I just don't know. Like I really can't tell. So
Okay. So how did you like build the relationships with restaurants or how did people start to book you? Like, is it just, okay, you started going to influencer events or you just started going to restaurants on your own with your friends and just literally making the content?
it's really just I started just going on my own, and then I've never really reached out to businesses. Everybody that I've gone to, they reach out to me. Nowadays, like, of course, I can go to a business and say like, "Hey, this is what I do." I haven't mastered that yet, and a lot of people probably don't know that. So, but I'm not that girl. I haven't mastered that yet. But a lot of businesses, they know my brand. I remember going to Rocksteady, and I was sitting with my homegirl for her birthday at a table of 5, and we were just sitting there ordering, and then the guy, like the manager, was coming over there. I noticed that we didn't have like an actual waiter.
Mm-hmm.
The manager was coming to us and helping us, and I'm just like, okay, like we're just like, okay, cool. And so he was taking orders, and he was like, yeah, y'all got the hungry homegirl at y'all table. I've never seen this man before in my life. Like,
Mm.
don't know him, don't know how he knew my brand. I was just like, wow, like that's crazy. So
Yeah.
like the table, he was taking care of us. Like he brought us some stuff, and he was just really cool. But I was just like, that part kind of made me like, wow, people actually like see what's going on. I don't know if I went away from the question, but that
No,
part just
that
made me.
makes sense because it's like people are recognizing your brand and then they're giving you special treatment and things like that. But how do you feel about getting that type of treatment? Because it's like, as a food blogger, they know the relevance of your content of your
Mhm.
page. So it's like, do you feel like they give you a better experience than typical restaurant goers sometimes, or?
Not necessarily. Like a lot of people, you know, it's Atlanta, so you have
Mm-hmm.
celebrities coming into restaurants every day. Just
Mm-hmm.
because I do this doesn't necessarily mean that people know who I am. Now, definitely had instances where people recognize me from my page and they'll throw extra food in a bag or like be super nice, but it's not like I'm about to do a review or anything. You know, I'm just like really humble about the experience.
Mm-hmm.
But in a lot of cases, I go to places and people don't know who I am, and I love that because again, I'm not a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta
You can
has
just enjoy your
celebrities.
food.
Exactly. Like it's like I'm just chilling, but like celebrities, we do have celebrities in the city, so they probably get, of course, special treatment and stuff. But I'm not on that level just yet, where it's kind of like that. So, you know, maybe one day I'm like cool, but right now I just go to restaurants, and then if I if the restaurant wants me to come there to work with them, cool. Or if I'm just going to go highlight on my own, cool. Like it's never any. We know you. It may be somebody sitting in there who may recognize me from a TikTok video or something, but I'm not on that level where they be like, "Girl, we about to hook you." No, it's not
Well,
like that.
you're one of my favorite foodies. You're our favorite foodie on Foodie TV. So another thing, because like I said, you have the list, and one thing that cracked me up was your Atlanta starter packs.
Yes.
So in Atlanta starter pack, she had neon signs, hookah, the music, the DJ, the no parking, the shrimp and grits, ballers mimosas, the celebrities influencers, the emerald couch, the green wall, and the murals. And I wanted to bring that up because I've been seeing tweets about like people been saying, oh, Atlanta restaurants these days are more focused on like the aesthetic and are more focused on like the gratuity and all of the other things except for like the food and the experience. So what is like your opinion on that or like your thoughts on that?
So being a foodie, I see both sides. So sometimes it's a little hard for me to like comment on things like that. Not really comment because of course I'm gonna say what I want, but I see both sides. Mm-hmm. So with the pandemic, of course, a lot of people flocked to Atlanta because Atlanta never shut down.
Right.
So people who were working at these restaurants, they were quitting. Restaurants were understaffed. They were hiring people who didn't have any training. They didn't know what to do. Restaurants were opening. They needed people, they needed to make money. So a lot of the times people like me also was giving them publicity, promo and stuff and packing out these places, but they didn't really have the manpower or the capacity to fill all of the guests or make sure the food was good. And it was just a lot. So I kind of see both sides, but on the flip side too, everything started to get a little redundant, and Atlanta did start to feel like a club at one point. So
the
my starter packs,
in the sections.
yes, like everything, like brunch had lines, like 2-hour holds, like it was ridiculous. Like hookah, the nice brunch places, everybody had hookah. Cool, like that's cool. Everybody doesn't want to sit in a smoke-filled room. Like
right.
That's not for everybody. So, I started the starter pack because everybody had the same thoughts and opinions, but I don't think people were verbalizing it. So I've always been that girl. So I'm gonna say what's on my mind. And I'm like, I see a trend in our city. So here's a starter pack. If you're gonna start a restaurant in Atlanta, here's how you thrive, because this is what's thriving at the moment. So yeah.
What do you think about the gratuity being like that? Just the pricing of everything now. I feel like when you go, like how they make jokes about $200 dates and stuff like that, I feel like, no, that's a real thing. Because you will go out and end up spending $200 on two people.
It's ridiculous. Like I always feel bad on dates because I'm just like, it's crazy. Side note, my boyfriend actually sometimes we be eating good and I'm doing the dates because we're doing blogs and stuff. So but when he does actually have to go and like spend money, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, ooh, like this is what people like. I feel really bad because I'm like, these restaurants are charging so much, and I do not like the 20% gratuity. I mean, okay, granted, servers, of course, they need to be paid. Like that's fine. But my thing is, during the pandemic, they started adding these charges to a party of one. So they're making it mandatory to tip people, especially like to go and all of that. Like I've gone places where I'm just picking up an order and it's like, you want to leave me a 22% gratuity or 20%. I'm like, nobody even did anything. Like nobody brought me water. You just gave me a to-go bag. So that's the part to me that was a little bit ridiculous. But like the 20% gratuity service charge automatically added on a little card reader machine, the only thing that used to make me mad about that or piss me off about that is that a lot of the times the servers never communicated that, hey, this is going to automatically be on your bill. And they would just give you the little toast machine and not say anything. So your bill is 20% higher and you're just like, oh, okay. Like maybe you're drunk because you're at brunch or you're not paying attention because you're talking to your friend. And then you tip them again, a 15 to 20% tip after that. And they done made a 40% tip because you're not paying attention. So that's been my biggest issue with it. It's not giving them the money that they deserve. It's the lying, the scamming behind it, because those machines don't tell you sometimes that you are about to tip 20%. And they don't mention it either because they know like, oh, she might be able to give me extra if she's not paying attention. So that was really my biggest thing on it. So.
Yeah, I had a homegirl. We were somewhere and she literally left because she was asking a question about the gratuity and they never kind of answered it or whatever. So it was really crazy. But I want to know, because you got the list of the taco spots, the brunch spots, rooftop spots. I just want to know, because the questions I get asked are best taco spots and the best seafood spots.
I'm like, these are always the hardest questions for me because I feel like Atlanta does not have really good seafood. I'm going to be honest. Even when I'm thinking of a seafood spot, I cannot think of one that I would recommend to somebody that's consistent.
Okay.
Like, I go to a Red Crab House for seafood boils, but it's in Snellville, so it's not necessarily Atlanta. But that's where I always go, and just to get my crab legs, seafood, sausage, all of that good stuff. And then I know this is very so basic. People don't like to hear it. Whatever, bite me. But what is it called? Papados is very consistent with their seafood spread. Like I don't care what nobody says. They definitely have some of the best plates. And I've been here forever and been eating papados since I was little, and they're very consistent. Um, CNS has like really good oysters, and that's all I can think of right now. That's actually consistent because a lot of places are hit or miss. So, um, yeah. And you said tacos.
Mhm.
Oh, so I just tried this really good place. It's in Avondale, in Decatur, and it's
Cause you
called.
from the east side, ain't you?
I'm from the east side, definitely, but it's called Santos, and they have really, really, really good authentic tacos. I really want to do a blog with them because I enjoy my food. I just went, on a regular lunch day, and then I enjoyed my tacos so much. They were really small, but
Mhm.
the authentic tacos are they're not big on the
Mhm.
flour tortilla, they're on the corn, so they're smaller. But it was so freaking good. So I think I'm a little obsessed with them. I think Holy Taco has some really good tacos. Bar Taco has some really good tacos,
I love
and
bar taco.
yeah, Bar Taco is really good. Um, and yeah, some other places are on the list, y'all. Y'all
Y'all
gotta
could
check out my
definitely check
list.
out the list. Yes. And my girl says she really from the east side. She really from Atlanta. So she got y'all on the spots. And y'all can stop asking me because I don't know. I ain't got that much money to spend.
Right, y'all think it's a lot of money.
Now the exciting stuff, your brand partnerships. Woo! So you did a partnership with like Revolt, One Music Fest, and now currently with Butter ATL.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Butter ATL one, which is the most current one, like what do you guys have going on?
Well, I really can't speak too much on that, but no, it's all right. But I love Butter ATL. I will say that they know that I've been a stan since forever. They created the page, so Butter ATL, what's up? I'm gonna give y'all props. A lot of inspiration came from that page as well, and I always tell the owner that like I'm obsessed with butter. Butter has always been number one because it's a lot of people that try to duplicate and like try to throw Atlanta history and stuff in there, but y'all really
Mm-hmm.
not from Atlanta.
Right,
Like
exactly.
y'all really not.
Girl, exactly.
Like this new Atlanta generation, get famous
Speak on it.
fast, get quick fast. Like
Speak on
especially
it.
some of these bigger pages, y'all have no culture. Like y'all don't know anything about anything. Like y'all don't know rich kids. Like y'all literally flew here. We grew here. So
Period.
Butter has definitely always been grounded. It shows that ATL roots, like from Outkast, Kilo, like real Atlanta
From
stuff.
even featuring some of like the influencers, like the current Atlanta influencers on their page too. So.
Yes, so that's why I've always been a stan of Butter. And then I'm from Atlanta, so it's not a lot of us who are really well. According to Amaretta, I'm not because I'm from Decatur.
Right, exactly.
But East Atlanta is what I claim. The same as Gucci Man. That's that part.
Period.
East Atlanta Santa. So, yeah, that's why that's kind of how that partnership or that relationship goes. It's just like it's two people that are really from Atlanta who people know, heavy hitters. So yeah.
How do you feel about like just content in general being of Atlanta, even outside of like the foodie realm? So I know we talked about the history and things like that. Like, how do you feel about creators or just the content creating era? Because we're in the era of the information age, the content age, or you have to have a brand by making content. But to your point, because me and some of my partners talk about this all the time about just it lacking the culture. Speak on this, sis. How do you feel about that?
It's like it's kind of depressing. Like I won't even. I know that's kind of like okay, girl, like please, but no, it really is because this city has changed so much, and it's so many people that are here putting out information, and we're losing our culture. This is why I vibe so much with people who are from here or people that I went to school with
Mm-hmm.
or people that just know Atlanta's history. Yeah, I don't know much about the South Side or the West Side because I'm not from
You
that
from
side.
the east side, right?
I'm from the East Side, but I love hanging around people from that area. I love the accents. Like I love learning their side of town plus mine. Like I just it's a difference because people that are just coming here, they're really changing the city. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's bad, and it's a little depressing seeing kind of like this shift even on social media. It's like it's not the same like at all. Like, and I also created a playlist called Real Atlanta,
Oh,
and
it's in your bio.
it's I don't think it's in my bio,
Okay.
but I'm gonna put it in there. So we'll say it is. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll say it is. But I created that playlist because it feels like home to me. So it's like a little bit of everything. It's old school Atlanta plus new school Atlanta. And I listen to it in a car and vibe out. Like it just reminds me of home. Like it reminds me of high school, like middle school, like everything. Rock Your Hips, like everything. Crime Mob.
Do it.
And so that kind of puts me back in my element, and I think people enjoy that. Like they enjoy that I bring that piece on my content. So yeah.
And then, do you have any sub channels or off branch like brands from your brand or anything?
So I have my little project baby that I am working on right now, crafting ideas. It's called Homegirl Ish. So right now it is considered a spam page. I say a spam page because I'm really just gonna talk my ish on that page. So it's called Homegirl. It's either Homegirl dot ish on Instagram right now and TikTok. I haven't really posted any videos on TikTok, but it's definitely my project baby from Homegirl, Hungry Homegirl, and I'm just gonna talk about different topics like celebrity topics and just be myself more so on that page. Not saying that Hungry Homegirl I can't, but that page was started with food and things to do in Atlanta. So the other page is gonna be for everything else, all things homegirl ish. So yeah, y'all be sure to follow that as well.
Yes, y'all make sure to follow her page and make sure. What is your main Instagram and TikTok?
So my main Instagram is Hungry Homegirl, HUNGRY HOMEGIRL, long name, on Instagram and TikTok. So Hungry Homegirl on Instagram and TikTok. It's also Hungry Homegirl on Facebook and YouTube. And I also have a Twitter, but you don't have to follow me on Twitter because I like to troll. Please do not follow me on Twitter because I troll.
I feel that. Please don't follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm like, don't follow me on Twitter because I really like to talk my mess on Twitter. So you don't have to follow me on there. But it's Hungry Homegirl basically on all platforms. And DM me, follow. Let's have some fun.
Yes, let's have some fun with Hungry Homegirl. And thank y'all for tuning in. Let me know who y'all want to see next. And please make sure y'all stay up to date with her for things to do in Atlanta, food, experiences, because I don't know no more.
You do.
Foodie TTV, and we are out. Thank you guys.
Bye.